The aim of the original logo was a collaborative effect, and we'd always talked about Bowen having nature in balance, and balance in nature in the human body is about homeostasis. It's a balance of influences, you know, sort of balance between pain and no pain, and poison and no poison, and sickness and health. It's not, there isn't any health, it's about balance. And so nature in balance was the sort of the slogan that we had back in the 80s and 90s for Bowen. And we worked with a designer, and the designer was sort of talked about where do we find balance, and he came up with a blade of grass, because we can see this all the time. So a little bit of water balancing on a blade of grass, and the thing was, well, how much pressure do you need to apply, or how much action do you need to apply to disturb that, to create a disturbance in that balance, or to influence that balance? And then the water drops into the pond underneath it, and then there's a ripple. So what's a ripple? Well, a ripple is the energy, the continuous energy of the thing that's dropped into it. It's kinetic energy, it's moving energy. There's two types of energy. There's potential energy, the energy that is stored in the water, if you like, and then there's the kinetic energy, which is energy which exists by reason of its motion. And so the dropping of the water and the influence of that water landing in, the drop landing in the water, or the pebble, or what have you, spreads out the ripples, and the ripples will keep going, and the ripples will travel and travel and travel until they meet a resistance, you know, sometimes for ages. And each time we drop the pebble into the water, it'll be a different size, or a different place, or a different direction. It'll create a different movement. But the point is that once we've created the movement, the energy takes care of itself. It's a sort of continuous structure. And so that really was what the idea behind the logo was about nature and balance, about the amount of pressure that we'd have to apply to create a disturbance in that field, or change that, about the ripples are spreading out, and the ripples in terms that we see as far as Bowen are long, and you know, we see it emotionally and mentally and physically, and that's kind of really what the logo was all about, and why I was really keen to make sure that we featured the grass element and the water element, and of course, you know, you can go into it deeper and say, well, we as humans are water, and we're predominantly water-based organisms, and it's important for us to have that water flowing, and lack of fluid movement equates to illness most of the time, particularly in, you know, getting into the science of the extracellular matrix, and this is very true. So there you go, a little bit of background behind the logos, and where it came from.